Greetings, and welcome back to the MCOC Encyclopedia. I finally got my hands on Deathless Thanos, took him straight to rank 3, so let's see what this guy can do. We normally start out these things in Realm of Legends, but trust me when I say that Deathless Thanos is far too much for Realm of Legends, pretty much at any rank, and so we're going straight into the Labyrinth today. This is a rank 3 7-star unduped, unsupported Thanos, so no recoils, no synergies, no awakened ability. No boosts either. Thanos generally revolves around his necrotic energy, which is the one in the far left that's currently at 8 and now 9. This controls the majority of his abilities, and he gains 1 when striking the opponent or being struck, and he can gain multiple when intercepting. Now, intercepting with Deathless Thanos is very, very easy, because every time you gain 10 of them, you gain a counterpunch charge. That lets you unstoppable intercept, and, well, that means you can really ramp up your charge gain. On the special one, there are 4 hits, and each hit has a chance to give you a fury. However, if you have at least 20 necrotic energy, then they become guaranteed. You can get up to 8 furies, so 2 special ones, and that's pretty much his entire ramp. Once you've got those going, heavy cancel into a special. If you've got at least 30 necrotic energy, that will put an armor break and an armor shatter on the opponent, and this amps your damage up considerably. And then if you've got 30 again when throwing the special 2, you will place 3 corrosions on every hit rather than the standard 1. Corrosions are a damage type that deal more damage depending on how much you've reduced the opponent's armor rating. So the fact we've got armor breaks and armor shatters amps up these corrosions, plus some furies as well, and you can see in about 90 seconds, Old Man Logan has gone down, and we were suffering damage cap issues. 1 minute 36 for 1.5 million health? I think we need something a little bit bigger. So, this is Labyrinth Star-Lord. We now have 3.3 million health to deal with. This is more than Abyss small fights. We're going for the same strategy that we used in the previous fight to start our ramp up. So, we go for 10 hits, counterpunch charge special 1, then some more counterpunch charging, and now we gain, there we go, 8 furies. That's all it really takes to ramp up Deathless Thanos. He also has an Energize, which increases based on how much necrotic energy he has, so the more energy you have, the more power you're gaining. And this can make cycling higher level specials, your special 2s, your special 3s, actually quite easy. Now, when counterpunching, Thanos can also pause all furies and armor shatter effects on himself and on the opponent, which can make holding his ramp really easy as well. Thanos is a champion with a certain level of complexity, but getting the most out of it, once you sort of get the basics of his kit down, really isn't too bad. Now, on the special 3, you can permanently increase the cap of necrotic energy. I believe it's from 60 to 80. It also means from then onwards in the fight, anytime you do a medium attack, you gain 2 necrotic energy instead of 1. But it also places a permanent, passive corrosion on Star-Lord. And you can see that's ticking for 2,050 per tick. And these stack up to 10. Which means a fully ramped Thanos will be ticking the opponent for 20,000 damage per second without doing anything. On top of the fact that he has very, very high base damage just on his basic hits. You can see we're doing 22k medium crits and 35k light crits. We can also throw off monstrous special 2s, which will crit in this fight for about 80k, assuming the damage cap wasn't there. And once you get him going, Thanos is a champion that's easy to keep going, easy to cycle, and has some serious payoff when you get there. You can see we've got our maximum energy, and in just one 5-hit combo, once we bait out the special 2 from Star-Lord, eventually, there we go, 1 tap just to sort of keep us going. 3 hits gave us most of a bar of power. Look how much power we're gaining on every hit. Oh, well, he evaded. That's inconvenient. Try again. Here's getting a lot of power, particularly on our mediums. Now, on our special 1 as well, we also gain his Genesis Aura, which doesn't last that long, but it lets Thanos regenerate 2% of all damage that is done to the opponent. Now, that doesn't seem like much, but 2% on 20,000 is 500. So regenerating 500, 600, 700 health on every crit on the opponent really adds up and means any chip damage you've taken from, over the fight of doing all your unstoppable intercepts kind of goes away. And that was 3.3 million health down in Under 3 minutes. That's more than 1 million damage per minute. Okay, enough with long fights. Let's have a look at something a little bit shorter. This is 8.3.6 Spider-Man, and we're going to show off another nice piece of Thanos' utility after we've done being punched a bit. Whenever Thanos goes unstoppable, which is very, very easy to do, simply based on, counterpunch charge, you will inflict a panic debuff, and this completely bypasses all evade and all miss. So this evadey Spider-Man, that's not a problem. Okay, he can evade again now, so there we go, debuffs back. Super easy. Thanos can also heavy chain into some very large heavies, just like champions like Chavez, Wasp, and so on. He's very, very useful for that sort of thing against certain modern tech champions like Mr. Zola. 49 seconds. Let's have a look at something a little bit bigger. This is a Mixmaster Nebula in 9.2, I think, actually. This is as far as the story goes. So Mixmaster, no, I think it is 9.1. Every time you do the same attack twice in a row, she's meant to evade. Now, the idea of this path is that you bring a striker, and that will give you, I think, also a panic debuff, but Thanos comes with one built in. And whilst, yes, Nebula will evade in this fight, that's only because I've forgotten to refresh the panic debuff. It's so easy to keep it going. You see we've got 7 hits until, we're just trying to bait the special, she's not having it. 7 hits, now it's back to 10 hits. So the 4th icon across, that grey one, is how many hits we have to do before we get another counterpunch charge. But every time you intercept, it goes down by 5. So heavy cancel, because we had 30 charges. No crits there. 40k non-crits, some great corrosion damage. That's ticking away, even though, again, we could also get triple that. So the way I like to do it, first special 2 is to get the armor break and armor shatter up. Second and beyond special 2, we go for 9 corrosions rather than just 3. There we go, we can counterpunch again. That was me forgetting. Counterpunch, panic debuffs back. There we go, now we've got 9 counterpunches each. Still no crits on that special 2, but each corrosion ticks over 1,000, so we're looking at well over 10,000 damage per tick when you get all 9 corrosions. This fight was intended to be a battleground simulator, because I've done all of these fights on the live server because I don't have him on the CCP at the moment. It isn't. This Apocalypse has about 700,000 health. So this is 50% more health than a Battlegrounds fight for Thanos. A rank 4 Apocalypse will have on the order of 400 to 450,000 health. And this guy has way more than that. And he has regeneration, and he has Aggression Fury. If this combination ever came to Battlegrounds, it would be the toughest meta we've ever had. However, let's see how Thanos is going to handle this. Again, we've done our 2 special 1s to ramp up our Furies. We go for our first special 2 to get the Armor Break and Armor Shatter. Trying to bait out this special 2 because we haven't left ourselves much power to keep anything paused, which is my oversight. Get the dex on the special 2. 1, 2, 3. Boop Thanos. There we go. Go Unstoppable. Managed to get the pause going. Boop Apocalypse with Thanos. Come on. So here we're just looking to bait another special 2. We probably should have baited that sooner, but he was very nice and threw it straight away. 1, 2, 3, dexing Apocalypse's Energy Blasts. We triggered Thanos' protection there because, despite all of this, Thanos is phenomenal on defense as well. No crits, and that huge fight was still only 86 seconds. Thanos can do most Battleground fights in 1 special 1, 1 special 2, and he is very good for a lot of modern tech defenders. So, there we have it, a quick look at Deathless Thanos, a champion that is borderline impossible to get your hands on now, unfortunately, unless you've got some pieces from the events. This is quite annoying, but I do understand why. He's a champion that came from basically all of 2024, so if you weren't playing in 2024, then getting your hands on him now can be quite difficult. I do hope they come out with more ways to get Deathless pieces, because I think a lot of the Deathless champions are very, very good, particularly She-Hulk and King Groot, but Deathless Thanos is arguably one of the top champions in the game, so locking him out is a little annoying. But we will see. Only Kabam knows what the future holds. If you have any questions, please do leave them down in the comments below, and consider joining the Discord server linked in the description. A great place to get specific advice, make suggestions for future video topics, and while I'm awake, I do my best to be there as much as possible. Thank you, and I will see you next time.